What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful forecast. It's going to be another upload on the potential for the major winter storm here that's going to bring in a white Christmas for probably a few million people all the way from portions of the Midwest down to the South, and as well possibly affecting areas that just got hit really hard by windstorm gales. So we're going to be adding on a lot of snow for some areas, and as well going to be seeing our first white Christmas for some areas in just over a decade here. So definitely going to be a very interesting play out here. Had all that moisture in the south and that major Arctic blast in the north here. So we're definitely looking at a very perfect puzzle pieces to be put together to allow this snowstorm to be so big, affecting big cities as well as Pittsburgh, Charleston, Indianapolis, all the way up to areas like Columbus. So that's exactly what we're looking at throughout this video here. The timing of the snow, exactly when will it actually become its heavy snow? Will your area get snow? How much of your area will get snow? And exactly as well the accumulation. So we're looking at all that throughout today's video here. Whether you can get snow, whether you can get a good accumulation, or whether you can get a white Christmas, which means to get over an inch of snow. But if you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to actually answer them, of course. And as well, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We're almost at 5,100 subscribers. I really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get in the video. So here's right now at the GFS here, and this is going to be a look at the next 60 hours when we start to see all of that moisture there coming for portions of the eastern United, or I guess the east central United States there along the Mississippi River. That's going to be seeing a lot of that rain there. Of course, the high pressure is going to be way up to the north near Canada, and it's going to bring that cold, dry air here, which is going to help allow to bring some snow there from the Midwest on the morning of Christmas Eve. So that's kind of why we will be seeing some snow showers there from Minneapolis and Wisconsin, which can help allow bringing that white Christmas for some of those areas. But for those other areas there where we are actually above freezing temperatures on Christmas Eve morning, we'll just see some really heavy rain, especially with off that low pressure off the Mississippi River there. But as we now get closer into now midday Christmas Eve, snow starts to appear. Some snow showers are developing. Going to be seeing a lot of mix of sleet as well as this snow continues to now become more widespread, and that's going to be as that cold front is just going to be just behind this all that moisture here. So it's going to be a very close call. It's going to be a very close call for areas like Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee, because that cold air is just going to come just too late or just on time. So it's going to be really a nail biter, even though, let's say it's a day out, it's the day before, it can still change quite a lot because that cold air is just going to be just behind that area, so it can drastically change quite quickly. Like now, I'm not supposed to get any snow, which I thought kind of makes sense there, but some snow developed now midday Christmas Eve for portions of Indiana, Ohio, some scattered areas of Kentucky, but areas to the east and to the south we'll be seeing just some really heavy rain midday Christmas Eve, as you guys will still continue to stay just in those warmer temperatures. But as now we get more widespread to Christmas Eve, now Christmas Eve evening, temperatures really drop and become very widespread. You can see some light snow showers from Nashville. That's going to be really it. The worst of the snow kind of be just east of Nashville, just east of Cincinnati as well. Going to bring some very heavy snow as well, developing Columbus there. That's going to help bring a really heavy rain across areas of the Appalachians all the way down from New York down to areas of Georgia as well. Going to be seeing some big flash flooding risk as well to the south there for southern Georgia and Alabama, even portions of the Panhandle of Florida. But going to be seeing some very heavy snow there. There's that low pressure there in eastern Georgia, and as that low pressure strengthens, that'll help bring in that very heavy snow and rain there. So Frankfort, areas near Lexington, all the way down to areas like Johnson City and Chattanooga, Tennessee, we're going to be seeing some very heavy snow now. There's that low pressure now moving quickly up to the north, now in now in western North Carolina, and that's going to help bring in even heavier snow, very heavy snow for Charleston. It's going to be the night of Christmas Eve. This is kind of at dusk, so it's going to be really almost midnight at this point. That's where that heavy snow will come down there for Pittsburgh, down for areas like Cleveland, Ohio, down to areas like Johnson City and even Asheville, North Carolina, and even some snow showers going down all the way down to northern Georgia. But really, by Christmas Eve at dusk, really late at night, going to be seeing a big rainmaker across the eastern corridor, all the way down from Big Bend in Florida up to New York. So we're going to be seeing some really heavy rain for millions of people before that snow moves in, if you get snow, of course, because the coastal areas really won't get too much snow unless you're actually in the northeast. Now by Christmas Eve morning, this is around like what 5 a.m. 4 a.m. that really that snow is really coming down quite at a fast rate for Charleston, especially for central Pennsylvania, as well for western for western New York. We're going to be seeing very heavy snow there for areas like Syracuse, Buffalo, Jamestown, Niagara Falls as well. We're going to be seeing a very heavy snow on Christmas morning there, especially as that low pressure strengthens now a good bit now at 989. It's going to help bring in some big flooding there on Christmas morning for areas like New York City, all the way from the Carolinas, the mid-Atlantic coast. But as we now get into mid-Christmas morning, almost early afternoon, we could see some snow showers as far as the eastern coast of New Jersey. Some flurries there, snow showers for Philadelphia, and very heavy snow continues Syracuse, and then a few snow showers will come in by Christmas Eve night across areas of the mid-Atlantic and portions of those higher elevations across portions of the Northeast. Now let's look at the European here. Once again, the European is still showing the snow really blowing up a lot earlier than the GFS, because the GFS does not have this big of a snowstorm this early. They actually have it going by like kind of Christmas Eve afternoon, really blowing up across portions of the South here, but really the European has it blowing up by Christmas Eve morning here for areas like Minneapolis there, Iowa, even portions of Missouri. So even some good amount of snow for Chicago, maybe a trace or so. But as we now get later into that Christmas Eve evening here, things are going to get really completely different. We're going to start seeing those kind of mix there developing in that rain-snow line there, as temperatures will gradually kind of make its way below freezing. Especially since this snow is going to come a lot earlier for the southeast. Now looking out at Wednesday night, Thursday morning, according to some sources, including the Weather Channel. So definitely the snow is going to really come a lot earlier than expected, which obviously it will be a lot warmer in the southeast the day before Christmas Eve. So that's going to really impact how much snow can actually come down. But this is it, Christmas Eve. You're seeing that really heavy snow coming down for portions of eastern Tennessee. As you can tell, it's going to really miss Nashville. It's going to be just rain for Nashville, just rain for Alabama and Georgia, according to the European here. And the snow does not develop until it goes way to the east of Nashville, to the higher elevations near Johnson City. Very heavy snow Christmas Eve as well for portions of Columbus, Frankfort areas as well, into southeastern Kentucky. As we now get into Christmas morning, we'll start to see some snow showers as far south as northern Georgia, and that's where we'll be seeing that heaviest snow there across portions of the Appalachia foothills, like areas to western Pennsylvania and much of West Virginia there, for including Charleston. Very heavy snow for Pittsburgh, Erie, Pennsylvania, Jamestown, New York, and that will continue now by late Christmas morning. That we're going to be seeing potentially whiteout conditions for a few hours there. That's how heavy that snow will be for areas that got smashed by gale, including Binghamton, New York, areas near the Poconos and Poconos in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Maybe some very heavy snow there getting near the D.C. area. Could see a few flurries in D.C., but like I did say, it's going to be above freezing, so it's going to be really hard to accumulate or anything like that. Let's take a look now at the snowfall accumulations. The European, of course, not getting around a trace or so for Chicago, around an inch or two, or maybe even 3 for north central Iowa. Again, the GFS does not get snow for Iowa, but we're also seeing as well up to 10 plus inches there from that December 23rd and 24th storm up in the Midwest. 2 to 3 inches there from Minneapolis, up to now 3 to 4 inches near Eau Claire, as well for the western coast there of Michigan, on Lake Michigan, as well, like I guess you could say Traverse City, and as well other areas. We're going to be seeing up to anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of snowfall, and they do see huge decrease for much of Tennessee there. Nashville now not getting anything, not even a trace there. Maybe a few snow flurries, but it's going to be really hard to accumulate here. It's going to be very, I guess, minimal, I guess you could say that. We're at a trace or so for Indianapolis. And even if you get snow there in Nashville, it's not going to be considered a white Christmas, because the white Christmas statistics can get to be over an inch of snowfall waking up on Christmas. So even if you get maybe half an inch, a quarter of an inch, is still not going to be considered a white Christmas, sadly there. Areas, on the other hand, on the eastern side of Tennessee can get a white Christmas, getting up to 1 to 3 inches of snowfall. Few flurries there, a trace or so in northern Georgia. Of course, not going to be a white Christmas according to the 1 inch. 2 to 3 inches there for areas like Lexington, maybe an inch or two for Frankfort, and southeastern Kentucky and southwestern West Virginia could get very similar totals, anywhere from 4 to 5 inches of snowfall. Same thing for Charleston, we get it around just under half a foot. Anywhere from 2 to 3 inches there for Columbus and central Ohio, trace for Cincinnati, and look at those totals there off the Lake Erie area. Erie, Pennsylvania, looking at 9 inches of snowfall. Cleveland, 3 to 5 inches of snowfall. Buffalo, anywhere from really 3 to 5 inches of snowfall. And areas near Jamestown, up to 8+ inches of snow. State College, up to 4 to 5 inches in central Pennsylvania. I'm going to add additional snowfall to Gale. Binghamton looking at a good 3 to 5 inches, so you guys definitely don't want that much more snow. Really, it's not like that much, but according to the forefeet you guys got, it's going to be a big difference there. Syracuse looking at a good 3 to 5 inches of snowfall, so that's kind of decent there for a white Christmas, all the way from areas like Tennessee up to areas in the Appalachians and the Adirondacks. Now here look at the GFS here, so still not showing too much snow in Iowa, and really an inch or two up there scattered up the northern half there. 2 to 3 inches there for Minneapolis, maybe an inch or two for Rochester. Not looking at anything for Illinois, not looking at anything for Missouri. GFS still showing around maybe, well, actually Nashville. It's kind of funny because Nashville's always in that little circle there. There's like a trace, just really maybe a quarter of an inch max across the Nashville region there. You can see south of Nashville and north of Nashville. Looking at probably maybe quarter of an inch of snowfall. I guess I'd be lucky to see that. Max half an inch, but of course that still won't mean a white Christmas. I do see across the other half of Tennessee and even far western North Carolina and the Great Smoky Mountains, 3 to 5 inches in those high areas near Boone and areas just to the east of Johnson City, looking at anywhere from 5 to 8 inches of snowfall. Lexington, 1 to 2 inches there, so GFS definitely seems to be underestimating these areas a good bit. So look at Columbus, really only a trace of snowfall based on the GFS here. They're like right there, a trace of snowfall, but just to the east, 1 to 2 inches, and more further to the east, getting over from 3 to 5 inches there in far eastern Ohio. Out there in central Pennsylvania, 3 inches. Look at far eastern West Virginia and far western Maryland, and those very high elevations there in the Appalachians, looking at 1.5 foot there for some of those areas. Charleston, 6 to 8 inches according to the GFS. And look out off Lake Erie there, getting anywhere from 8 to 16 inches of snowfall. Not highest totals based on the GFS will be near Jamestown and to Buffalo in those general areas as well. Looking at 1.5 foot, or not 1.5 foot, sorry, half foot there for Syracuse at the 7 inches of snowfall. Maybe a trace for Lancaster, maybe a trace for DC, and maybe a trace there for Alexandria. Maybe lucky to get a trace there in Baltimore, but let's look at now at the flooding here. We're going to be seeing some dangerous flooding. We're not dangerous, but we're going to be seeing some severe flooding, especially off areas in southern Georgia and the Gulf Coast there. Looking at a good 2 inches of rain there, according to the European across portions of Alabama. You can see a scattered 3 inches there across the far western panhandle. And they'll just be seeing that rain getting more and more intense here. You don't really see that much. Usually it's more intense southeast and gets less intense up the east coast. But it's going to be completely different. We're going to be seeing actually more intense rain. And that's going to be because this low pressure is going to be strengthening here, for example. It's going to be like 996 like here in Georgia. It'll be 989 up here. So that's definitely going to be increasing that rainfall rate towards the northeast. Looking at areas near Albany, up to anywhere near 3.5 inches of rainfall, which is actually crazy, man. That's definitely going to bring some flooding there. Eastern Pennsylvania can possibly see up to 4 inches, sorry, not 4 inches, up to 3 inches of rainfall there. Same thing for DC. Looking at 2.5 inches of rain there. Raleigh, around an inch of rain. Scattered areas of the Great Smoky Mountains can see around an inch or two of rain. So it's definitely be quite a rainy system here. And areas all the way up to New England here, we can get up to anywhere from 2 to 3.5 inches of rainfall. So it's definitely going to be a big soaker for those areas that don't get too much snow. Even for areas that get snow, we'll get actually a lot of rain. Like areas like Charleston, around an inch of rain. That's actually a good bit there for a time frame. As well, near Erie and Jamestown, looking at around an inch, or actually closer to 2 inches of rain. So definitely very interesting. And of course, all this is possible because this big major Arctic blast there. There's that high pressure that's going to bring in that cold, dry air, and that's why it's going to be very durable minimum snowfall for the Midwest, because not only will it be very slightly below freeze or below average, but it's also going to be very dry. It's going to be very dry atmosphere, so that snow is going to be really it's going to accumulate, obviously, but it's not going to be that heavy, fluffy snow. It's going to be fairly light, and that really snow that you can't really, I guess you could say, pick up. It's going to be It's not going to be wet. It's going to be very fluffy, not going to be too fun to play with. Unless obviously it changes here, but it's not going to be till it kind of comes right here where we have a lot of that moisture there. There's that really cold temperatures really kind of just getting near that time frame where we can see that snow. So that's why it's going to be such a close call, because that cold air is just going to get there on Christmas Eve night for the southeast. I mean, it's just going to come just a few hours later. If this system came a few hours later, we'll be seeing a lot of snow for Nashville, a lot of snow for Atlanta. And if this cold front came a day earlier, it'll be a massive snowstorm. But really, timing is the key. It's going to be such a close call. Like, even if you're a day out in Nashville or northern Georgia or Kentucky, things are going to really change a lot here. But Christmas Eve morning, temperatures are going to really continue to drop there. Like I did say, if it came a day later, it'll be an absolute major storm here, because we're going to be seeing lows in the upper 30s and lower 30s for portions of the southeast here. Look at that, 8 to 20 degrees below average. But if it came one day earlier, it would have been a massive storm, not only for the southeast, but for much of the eastern corridor, including the coast there. So it could have been it could have been a way bigger storm if it just came a day, if that cold front came a day later, or if this low pressure came and developed a day later. So really, it could have been a lot bigger here. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.